So the Roadshow is a series of events that showcase the work that we all created together earlier this year and late last year.
This is about creating an experience around how we have a conversation about mental health.
It's getting the kids involved and it's, you know, creating questions, it's creating answers.
The song, the words, the yarning, you feel as though something's happening that hasn't happened before.
This conversation, you know, is a new one.
I think it's the first time anything like this has ever happened in Western New South Wales, maybe in Australia. And, you know, we're all a bit sort of nervous about how it's going to go, but we know that it's important and it's positive. Early last year in 2017, I got a phone call from Kim Whiteley from the Primary Health Network.
What we were looking for is a different way of approaching youth mental health for Aboriginal people.
Using sort of popular culture forms like hip hop and film, we enable young people to speak in a language that they are fluent in. We really wanted to take the opportunity to articulate the kind of length and breadth of the issue of mental health for Indigenous young people in Western New South Wales. We're going to go back to all the communities that we've been working with.
We don't know where people are at. All we can do is provide an opportunity to share some of these things in a creative way.
We're going to set up a massive inflatable screen and a massive PA system and just have a celebration of the achievements of these kids and these elders and these community members.
Hello. Nice to see you.
So you've known about our work for a while, eh?
I have, and I've followed you pretty closely. The work that you do is amazing. It opens up conversation.
Why do you think that's important?
It gives the young people a voice, and sometimes that could be the first time ever that they've been able to do that, and that's very empowering.
People don't like expressing their feelings a lot, but through this way it's a lot easier just to sing it out.
Just sitting down yarning with these young people and talking about these tough topics, you know, suicide, mental health, you know, and about growing up and being strong and deadly. We need to have these conversations.
This night is all about you young people. We have come here to acknowledge you and to honour you.
My name is Warren Roberts. I'm a Dungutty Bundjalung man. If we want to have a conscious conversation about mental health, then we've got to create a safe space here. I want you to contribute, put your hand up.
I think a safe space is where your mates look out for you.
A lot of young people that does not know anything about the services out there should be aware.
Thank you, Arnie. So in this space, when you're hearing stories, remember, Yindamara, be gentle, slowly.
We've got to look after our sick boys and women. We've got women hanging themselves as young as 20.
Totally agree. Thank you for raising that.
How can we engage a broader conversation just like this one?
One that I feel very personally close to is DPM. Young Aboriginal people all over Australia are now talking to each other. They're talking to each other about culture. They're talking to each other about positive mental health.
We need to listen to what's been said here tonight. Now is the time for action. Now is the time for change. It's up to us.
Well, the way that community is at the moment, it's becoming westernised, where it's all based around organisations and registered bodies and all these things. The conversation doesn't have to be that formal. The stuff that we're trying to do with these events is about sitting down and talking and listening and allowing people to share their story, you know, and not so rushed to get to the solution. By us having this wider conversation, we're making it easier for them to have the courage to go and talk about it. Are you going to come along and sing us a couple of songs tonight?
Yeah, me and my sister will be down there to sing a couple of songs.
What do you think about how we're coming together tonight?
This sort of thing doesn't happen all the time, especially around mental health. Like, you don't really see many people talking about it.
Yeah, well, I think any opportunity for our community to come out and talk is a good thing.
The kids definitely got a heaps out of it and learn a few skills, how to speak up a little bit.
Well, with this job, like, I'm learning a lot, meeting new people, trying new organic food, new organic vegan food. Hey, my name's Tahua.
Get back to work.
Yeah, he won't stop asking me questions, Joshy. I'm a roadie to everyone.
We've been running services for generations, yet mental health is still one of the biggest indicators of poor health amongst Aboriginal people. Don't go zooming in either. Closing the gap is about our young people leading. It's no use the language of mental health coming from older people. Whether it's cultural, physical, spiritual, emotional, we have to listen to our young people. Desert P allows that to happen.
It's really awesome to see so many faces on a cold night in this big freezing hall. It's a pretty rare thing for us to be able to share the work that we've all done together live and in person.
I'd now like to share some language with you in the language of my people. Nila marambang balang nyagi nyani gingo ba nira daganja rajajak garaja. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful to see that our footprints are side by side in the soil on Wiradjuri land. So let's work together to make everything good for our people.
This first section we'll just have a yarn. We're going to yarn with some of the elders.
So there's all types of mediums, but music is the strongest and most powerful one that Aboriginal people have. We need to have more gatherings like this, but we need to be doing it on country. We've got to start being the caring, sharing people we've been for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
How you been, Unc? How's life on the Ramby?
Oh, up and down, right? Up and down.
That's for sure. What do you think's important about going down the river and sitting down together and having a yarn?
We don't do enough of it anymore. We're river people, you know, we hardly go down the river anymore.
Do you reckon there's a relationship between wellness and the river?
Definitely.
What tell us about it?
The river has its own spirit. Rivers are part of us, you know, part of life, the flow of things. The rivers connected us. The veins of the country. They fed all life. We used to have ceremonies for the river, make sure that the water's nice and healthy all the time. But we're removed too much from the river these days. We're not allowed to go there anymore. It affects us in ways that it's hard to measure. If you can't be who you are, it has a negative effect on people. We don't need to live with fear, you know? Because we have a connection to the country you can't take away, it's just in you.
My name's Josh Nicholas, I'm the music producer for Desert P, and I'm running the show for the PHN tour. So this is the first outdoor show. We've got the old Portaloo over there, generator, Toby Finlayson. That's about it. So the most important thing for every event, screen, lights, PA, heater, trailer, chair.
If you can't make a damper, mate, you're not a curry.
We were in the lovely Yirrambie Mission. This is our first one outside.
Round of applause for the feed, eh? Beautiful.
These are our young people, these are our kids, and these are our future. So there's a lot of political awareness going on here, there's a lot of education, and a hell of a lot of pride.
You should be very proud of yourself for what you've achieved and how you've represented your community. Kids learn the words to this song all over the country, all over the world.
what we first do is establish a ground where we can come together. We determine what that space looks like, sounds like, feels like.
Depression and anxiety, it's such a hidden thing. You hide it. You have to speak to people and let them know. Otherwise you can't get the help that you need.
Thanks for that.
It's important to listen so that maybe we can help each other out.
A lot of people don't know where to go to get this help.
So if we're going to break down those stigmas and things, again, speak up, have the encouragement, support one another.
A lot of Aboriginal people feel discriminated against when they present to hospitals.
We've lived with trauma all our lives, but we've never been allowed to actually heal. Back in 1870s, just down River here, Wollongong, they were still cutting our people's heads off and putting them on stakes. Well, our people experienced all that sort of mental trauma, and we carry it with us. We pass it on to the next generation. To actually fix my trauma up, I had to come back home here and go through ceremony. It gives you a foundation. But to me, what our young people are doing, as far as I'm concerned, that's deadly.
Oh, they all coming down the front, look. No, I just wanted to thank you all again for having us, and congratulations to all you mob for these beautiful films and deadly music video.
We're on the front page of the Condobolin August.
How you going, sis?
Yeah, pretty good.
Last time we were here 4 months ago, what happened? What did we do?
We made a mad music video.
So what was the song about?
Well, the song was about mental health and how people are feeling and that.
Do you think it's hard for young people to talk about mental health to people that they don't know?
Yep. I think people feel like they're going to get judged.
For sure. How does it make you feel that something that you made is going to help other people?
Probably make them feel better. Yeah. It's like they could be down and they wouldn't want to talk to anyone, and they could actually listen to the words of the song.
Tell us a bit about having that yarn. What was it like?
Man, I feel more powerful.
That's cool. That's mad. And so what's happening tomorrow? What are we doing now?
Tomorrow, we're launching a video and we're going to have a yarn up with all the mob.
Hey, I'm Nikki. I'm the production coordinator and I also take photos as well. It's really nice to come back and just see the full circle of the process.
If we can plant the seed for people to feel comfortable talking in any capacity, I think that's a really positive thing.
This is an event to start that conversation with our young people. It's not a health professional conversation or bureaucrats conversation, it's actually our conversation.
I believe personally that our elders are a valuable part of our youth growing up today.
This is wonderful, this is. As we were growing up, we were sort of cut off from a lot of things. All the little curries, you know. And see all them dances, made me feel real good, you know. That's our kids, And ain't they smart, Good night, love yous.
What are the challenges do you see facing Aboriginal community accessing mental health services?
I think the biggest problem is isolation. We still need to be seen out this far. People being removed from their country, being removed from their mob, and not being able to share your language and your stories. And that's why it's so important now that we're having those stories.
Now we're at the main event, introducing the Condo crew with How You Feeling? Play it again, Nugget. We'll be here all night.
If there's a problem, we're gonna fix it.
There's a lot of blackfellas your age that go through a similar sort of moment in their lives, you know? Why is mental health and wellbeing so important to talk about right now in Wello?
Yeah, a lot of our young fellas have had issues with suicide, and the sad reality of it, bro, is it happens too often. You know, we're a small community, we're all mob. When something like this here happens and, you know, we lose one of our young fellas, it affects everyone.
No one's talking about this kind of stuff. It's like a human rights issue. It's the highest rate of suicide on the planet. How do we get more blackfellas to get help when they need it?
For us to move forward, we need to be able to have a complete understanding of what was felt by our people. Our culture, our traditions, it's all still there, you know. It's up to us now to, you know, grab it with both hands and, you know, continue to make it stronger, you know, rebuild ourselves.
It's been a real honour to meet you and work with you, bro. Look up to you, man. You're deadly. We're on Radri country still, Wellington, New South Wales.
Yeah, I'm Michael Graham, also known as MC Bumali. This is the first leg of the tour that I'm on. Helping out, setting up, and getting stuff ready.
We've known Michael since he was about 15 years old. He was a participant in a DPM project, and we've been sort of mentoring him as a songwriter and as an artist. And he's just joined us from Cowra for the last 2 shows.
Haven't seen each other in a couple of months, so yeah, good to be back on the road with the brothers.
So last night we had a little rehearsal in the hotel.
Me and Hazy, we've been working on a couple of new bangers, performing some of them.
We're all so excited to see him performing and joining us to bless this last couple of shows.
With the whole mental health conversation, it lets people know that they're not alone, you know.
For him to be here, to be an example for these young people that are learning to talk about mental health is just a real gift to the whole community. So Mick's just warming up now. He's even got me to get up. It's the first time we've ever performed together, ever. So it's scary, but awesome. Let's do it.
Community members tell us that there is a dire need around mental health. The Desert Pea story was tried and tested. It is healthier kids because they've strengthened their own cultural identity, and it's a process of being proud of who we are as Aboriginal people.
Hey, is all going all right? We're going to go on a journey and a bit of an experience tonight.
Now, the meaning behind this song is something that we can all reflect on. You know, repairing Mother Earth, repairing our brothers, repairing our sisters, our mothers and fathers.
Don't be shame here tonight. Use your voice, speak up.
We were the first to walk this land over mountains, rivers and sunburnt sands. We are still walking side by side, hand in hand, Aboriginal pride. Thank you.
Forgiveness is one of the major parts of moving forward. It's simple for some of us, but some people it's a little bit of a longer journey.
Why and how does intergenerational trauma affect Aboriginal Australians?
You were removed as a baby and you weren't taught to be a mother, and then there was the trauma of the massacres and the violence. So every person has a different journey and they've been affected in different ways. They always put you in the one box, you know, we're all the same, but we're not all the same. We need to make those changes about equality and about people's individual human rights.
Just sitting in the back there, it's just giving me goosebumps because it's such a moment where I'm so proud to say that I come from this place.
For our people to overcome what they did and you know, the culture and traditions to still be here, you know, that's powerful.
Obviously the conversation is still continuing, and sharing those stories is a way to open up.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody? That's better. I realize what's really going on. This issue strong and needs to be touched on. It's more than just anger, more than just pain. I'm talking days that endlessly leave us stuck in the rain. You see my battle scars, but you don't feel my pain. Once again, I'm MC Bamali. Mark Graham, all the way from Collie.
I reckon it's excellent.
DPM media are the deadliest. I want them to come back.
We should get this back every couple of months because you can see the difference in the town.
So we had Mick perform tonight for the first time in about 2 years. And I think Mick really did well tonight. Killed it. Hey Mick.
Yeah, bro, it was good.
Came for Friday?
What's on Friday?
Playing in Walgett.
In Walgett?
Yeah.
Oh, we going to Walgett?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm keen, bro. We got to Walgett. Let's go to Walgett.
So we've just arrived in Walgett. It's the day before the final show of the tour. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together now.
From Yarm, Australia. Definitely going to have it at the showground.
Well, it's on the poster. Do you think we should move it to the hall?
You can't have people freezing because that'll be the thing balking them.
Yeah, rightio.
We're in Walgett, New South Wales at the moment. That's the last leg of the tour. We got some more up here. Brought a busload of kids from Collie. Gonna put on a good show for them. That's a special one.
I would like to welcome everybody here tonight, and I acknowledge the young people. You are our future elders.
The work that we're doing out in Cowra and Walgett has been some of the most satisfying things I've ever done. Working with Mick and watching his evolution as an artist and as a young man, watching all you mob grow up. I've been coming out here for 10 years now. Last night, the new track that you're about to hear from the mob was played on Triple J around the country. It just goes to show the people around the world are listening to the kids in Walgett.
Why can't we speak our language? Why can't we practice some of our ceremonies? What impacted on that?
History, particularly Aboriginal men, lost rights to go out onto the land, and people are afraid to talk about it.
If you don't know who your family and where your mob is, it's hard to have that grounding, and that grounding comes from your country. And you get strength from that, mental strength. Thank you.
Check. What's up, everybody? You ready for this? Nah, come on.
It's time for a survey.
Hey.
This is the beginning of a conversation about mental health. Continue the conversation, own the conversation. My name is Warren Roberts, and on behalf of the DPM media crew, good night.
As soon as the videos are finished, they're running around, they're screaming, they're hugging each other, they're hugging us, they're like open, and if something happens, oh, it's beautiful. Warren's hit the road, he's on his way to LA. We're gonna pack the truck, and that's it, folks. Yay!
We've started the conversation in a lot of these communities. We need to have a commitment now.
We need to try to do different things, new things, things that are innovative.
What's bringing people together is their kids. Everyone's there to celebrate what their young people have done, and that's really positive, and that's really rare and really important.
We need more people to care about our upcoming generation.
Young people understand their own world, and they've got a lot more to say than we're hearing at the moment. And we'd like to make sure that happens. We'd like to take responsibility for that, and I think we all need to.